Yuanjin Temple looked over with interest. How will you deal with it? Chingy smiled and said, Don't be afraid. I will write in the report that you are in self-defense. The assistant next to him was instantly in awe. You are worthy of being my dear. You are handsome. Turn around. It's Liang. Let's go. Suddenly, he narrowed his eyes. There seemed to be a pair of eyes locked on him. But she didn't see anyone when she turned around. But there was a feeling of being watched. Yuan Zhenxi was hiding around the corner. She is really a terrifying woman. She also has superpowers. She was getting closer. Then a voice sounded. I found you. Yuan Zhenxi's pupils reflected a figure. I found you. Yuan Zhenxi. The woman felt a gaze locked on her. Approaching step by step. I found you. Yuan Zhenxi's man was sweating profusely. Was he discovered? He turned around and was attacked from both sides. Two friends angrily said you couldn't be found after school. You didn't go to club today. We won't let go. The clear behind looked at the three in front of him. It seems that he is overthinking. Suddenly, the phone rang. He said lightly, I know, and then walked further and further. On the other side, Yuan Zhenxi was carried to the ghost club by two people. The fat man said, the club activity requires at least 3 people. You never come. If the teacher sees it, our club will be disbanded. Yuanjin explained that he was writing a novel. I'm very busy. The 2 longtime bookworms were immediately excited. Let's take a look. He was sweating profusely. He wrote it to survive. But these 2 obviously took it seriously. The 2 were immediately unhappy. They pouted and said, You don't treat us as brothers. Fatty said yes, yes, and pulled up his clothes. We always share everything good we have. Yuan Zhenxi quickly said he would show it to them. Oh my God. He had to write a novel to deal with it. The 2 instantly became like Conan. You're kidding, right? Dude, let us help you. How about finding some inspiration? Yuanjin suddenly had a bad feeling. Fatty typed on the keyboard. The 2 posed in a cool way. Hong Quan and Yuan Zhenxi were instantly petrified. Using his own story to find inspiration for himself. No one else. But in the blink of an eye, the webpage directly turned into 4043, but they found the pop-up ads on the side of the page. Still shouting 1 click 999. The phone signal was full. But the phone couldn't log in either. It seems that the woman has already taken action. Blocking the website should be their doing. I don't know if the hell communication will be interrupted. Who are they exactly? I need to figure out who they are. So he quickly ran out. He just ran a few steps. The little-eyed man who was beaten last time appeared again. The yellow-haired said, Wasn't the lesson last time enough? You dare to complain to the teacher. Then he saw a familiar person, Yuan Zhenxi. Why is it you again? Zhao Yanjing was moved to tears. Yuan Zhenxi saved him last time. And he would do the same this time. But Yuan Zhenxi didn't stop. His pupils narrowed. Full of disbelief. Then he stepped on it hard with 1 foot. The yellow-haired man smiled and said, You actually expect him to help you. Everyone in school knows Yuan Zhenxi doesn't care about others' business. It depends on his mood. Then he kicked hard again. The small eyes were tightly clenched. In the glasses, reflecting Yuan Zhen's figure running further and further away, and full of hatred for that figure. But he didn't know. Yuan Zhenxi on the other side is also in danger. He only has 3 months to live. The woman just now shouldn't have gone far. He sensed it. But the two were nowhere to be seen. If he wants to extend his life, he needs the hell correspondence. The power of those two will pose a huge threat to him. He must find out who they are. Otherwise, he will end up dead. The other side went back to the police station. His men said that, "We have closed the website of the Underworld Maiden." Qingyi directly asked about Di Tengxin. The subordinate was embarrassed and tried all methods, and couldn't close it. Qingyi thought for a moment. It seems to be protected by some kind of rule. Then he waved his hand and everyone evacuated as fast as possible. Tried to close hell communication tonight. Su Jing quickly arranged for the evacuation. The special section handles all kinds of strange events. Led by the highest think tank of the Public Security Department. At 11:55 p.m., only 2 people left in the whole venue. The assistant asked curiously, "Blocking the website is so dangerous." Qingyi was stunned and asked, "How long have you been trained?" The assistant was embarrassed for 3 days. He said confidently that the above sent a rookie. It seems that the old assistants in the special department. Then he asked if he knew the differences between ghosts, vengeful spirits, and weirdos. The tentacle was immediately excited, saying that ghosts are the afterlife of the dead, with no regrets, and can be generally exorcised, while a ghost has an unfulfilled resentment. If they can't beat them, they will be killed directly. If they can't beat them, they wait for stronger people to support and destroy them. And the strange are stronger. They are unsolvable. Then he said confidently, smiling and saying, "Dear inspectors, there must be a way to defeat the monster." With a slight smile, I regret to tell you that monsters are not only invincible, they are immortal. Only the weird can kill the weird. Each monster has different rules. Only by figuring out their killing rules can we take advantage of the loopholes and limit them to a certain area and control them. The delicate tapping of the keyboard did not stop. Do you know why there are fewer and fewer assistants? Because the guards are used to make mistakes. The assistant was terrified. It turns out that he came here not because he was excellent, but because no one cared about his intelligence. Let's talk about the morning again. You were supposed to go and test the curse this morning, but you couldn't even see where the curse was. It was just past midnight. The blocking program on the computer was in a running state. He moved aside. So now it's your turn to make mistakes. If you unfortunately sacrifice, we will take care of your family and give you a generous pension. He looked at the button in front of him. He swallowed, and his fingers were shaking constantly. He adjusted his glasses. Now you still have a chance to quit. Resign voluntarily. The assistant gathered courage and directly pressed the button. The surrounding space suddenly became eerie. There was a loud noise in the whole space. The exquisite protective cover blocked the flying stones. The smoke cleared. The assistant asked uncertainly, "Is it over?" The computer in front of him kept making a buzzing sound. Qingji breathed a sigh of relief. It seems that this weirdness is too much. But found that the hell communication that had been blocked was actually turned on again. A face with a pair of black hole-like eyes appeared, staring at him. Qingyi was also stunned. Things are going to be big. This monster can think like a human. She has handled countless strange cases, but was also frightened by what he saw. This is a warning from the strange. Then he turned around and was about to call and said to his assistant, "You're good. The new person should grow up quickly." Her heart became more and more uneasy. So far, all the fruits found so far are deadly. Humans can't defeat the weird. Once the weirdo has a mind, how can we resist? I hope I'm wrong. On the other side, a red-haired man was playing games. "Hey, Qingyi. Investigate the Imperial girl. My sister's eyeball hasn't been investigated clearly. Why don't you take a look at the photos and give me some advice? The person who saw the photo has died 200. The cause of death was mental breakdown." Qingyi was speechless on the phone. Hong Ying said, "You still ask me to see." Hong Ying said with a laugh, "Don't worry. You won't die. Well, let's cooperate. I'll help you. If we fail, we can have a backup." Qingji sneered, "Okay. But you have to help me first. I'm in a serious situation." Then he hung up directly. The young man wants to set a trap. You can't dig as deep as me. Yuan Zhenxi waited anxiously at home and became more and more irritable. If communication is closed, even if he writes other stories, he would have the same ending. Then he opened the notebook. As long as it's 12 o'clock, you'll know the result. Unexpectedly, there was an organization like special class in this world. The time just arrived. Words appeared on the notebook. Assistant Qi Xiaoying failed to close the hell communication. He couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. It seems that he is temporarily safe. Then he started typing on the keyboard nonstop. But no matter how he searched, he couldn't find any information about the special class. Then he stood up from the chair. The story is ultimately an outsider, or improve his spiritual power, to respond to changes with constancy. He sat cross-legged. The last time he added 9 points, it was his limit. But there is no other way now. He decisively clicked the plus sign after 9. A huge energy flowed through his limbs. The next second, the energy in his body instantly increased. He spread out his right hand. A stream of energy gathered. It was written on the notebook that he had succeeded. Currently, it's the 2nd level. The exchange ratio this time changed from 1 to 1 to 1 to 100. The power in his body is still growing. More precisely, but his soul is constantly growing. He rubbed his neck. His 5 senses are much more sensitive than before. Then he glanced. There seems to be something looking at him. Is that you, Xiaoyoi? You are the first monster I created. Then he opened the wardrobe without saying a word. It's my fault. I forgot your existence. But he saw the box suddenly start to shake violently. He saw a pair of red eyes getting closer and closer. Then suddenly 2 small hands stretched out and closed the box and moved back. You were created by me. You are my child. Why are you so nervous? We always meet. At this moment, Yuan Zhenxi was as gentle as he could be, and he happily hugged it and slowly opened it. Then his expression was terrified and kicked it away. It must be that I opened it in the wrong way. It's too loose. And the contents of the box fell out. He has countless eyes, crying out in grievance. Mommy, mommy, after a long time, the TV was on in the living room, and there was only a box on the sofa. Hearing Macapa, the little Macapaka curiously came out, and more fascinated.